It is absolutely sickening to see what every other Western Conference team is trying to do just to keep up with the Oklahoma City Thunder and try to stop what could be a young dynasty in the making, as we have reports now of teams in the Western Conference that are trying to go get Kevin Durant. We have teams that are favorites to now land Lauri Markkanen, who did have a down year, was an all-star in the 2023-2024 season. It was rumored he was going to go to the Thunder during that 2024 offseason before the Thunder eventually signed Isaiah Hartenstein to this great contract that he's been fantastic for this team right now. But now there are some other teams that made the playoffs this year that are trying to land Lauri Markkanen in a trade to help them contend and win a title and dethrone. They haven't even won a championship yet, but to knock the Thunder down from being the best team in the Western Conference. So we're going to break down everything that's going on right now before we have a wild offseason of trades and how the Thunder can keep up with everyone and what all needs to happen if they want to try to go back-to-back making the NBA Finals. Before we get into all that, though, Bryson Akins over here at Thunder Digest. Quick moment to recognize that around, 65% of you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, but you're watching these videos on a regular basis. If you enjoyed the content, you find yourself coming back, and you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is just by hitting that subscribe button. Also, I am interested to know, with the offseason coming up here soon, okay, what kind of content do you guys want to see, all right, for our live streams? What, do you want to see me stream some video games, do some stuff with that? Whatever it may be, let me know in the comment section below what you want to see from live streams during the offseason. With that out of the way, let's go ahead, get into talking about today's topic of Kevin Durant, Lauri Markkanen, all these trade rumors going on right now for what's supposed to be a wild offseason. And Shams even said so, all right? And, he told Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst told everyone about it, told Pat McAfee as well. All right, hey, he's already clearing up his calendar for when the finals in for this to be a crazy offseason. That there are some trades that are rumored to already be in place, ready to go, just waiting for the finals to end and for teams to be able to trade guys. That's what's going on, all right? The big one with it right now is Kevin Durant, okay? Here's a report right here, okay? He reportedly prefers a trade to San Antonio. And I know San Antonio didn't make the playoffs. I think they would have if Wembanyama stayed healthy and they, De'Aaron Fox as well. I do know, I want to go ahead and say it, they will be a top 5 seed in the Western Conference next season. They will be. Even if they don't get Kevin Durant, they will be a top 5 seed in the Western Conference. If they get Kevin Durant, they're, probably the 3rd or 2nd seed. I can go in and say that. I'm confident. I am willing to say that. If they somehow get Kevin Durant, they will be the 3rd or 2nd seed in the Western Conference and look to challenge the Oklahoma City Thunder in making the NBA Finals, because they're kind of following the same plan as well, all right? They have a ton of young draft picks building up their guys through the draft, blah, 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 not going out there and signing a bunch of guys, and if they do get a big-name guy, they trade for him, like the Thunder did with Alex Caruso, who isn't even really a big-name guy. He's just a great defender and a great role player. It's just with Kevin Durant, they have the capital with players and contracts that they can trade with, like Harrison Barnes for the Suns to truly try to go into a rebuild mode for 2 to 3 years to get Devin Booker that ring, okay? And also have draft picks to give up. They have a ton of draft picks as well in San Antonio. There's also some more details that came out about it, all right? Bill Simmons thinks the Kevin Durant trade to San Antonio might already be done. Both teams are just waiting to announce it. I wouldn't be surprised if KD to the Spurs is done already and they just haven't announced it. Basically, they've agreed on specifics, just announce it on the week of the draft. This goes back to the Giannis thing. I think they trade for KD because it just costs less. They'll be able to be real competitive and maybe go a couple rounds in the playoffs. But they also going to keep the number 2 pick and do it that way, which is my prediction. So they're going to have that number 2 draft pick. They're going to have Kevin Durant. They don't have to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo because the Bucks would probably want that 2nd overall draft pick. They can really have something special brewing, not only next season, but for the next 3 to 4 seasons with Wembanyama, Fox, and whoever they take with the 2nd overall pick, whether it may be, it could be Bailey, could be Harper. You don't know yet. And if they get Kevin Durant, it's going to be scary to see what's going on in San Antonio. It's not just him, though, all right? This report as well. It was reported by Evan Sideray that, and I know he's not the most trustworthy source in the world. He still is an NBA source, though, so we're going to use him. Jazz are looking to trade Lauri Markkanen. Here are the favorites to land him. Golden State at plus 205. They were the favorites during the trade deadline before they ended up getting Jimmy Butler. Then the Heat at plus 250. Magic at plus 325. We're not worried about those two whatsoever. But then you have the Mavericks at plus 450. And then the Spurs at plus 650. I think if the Spurs cannot get Kevin Durant, they're going to switch, they're going to quickly pivot over to Lauri Markkanen. I think so whatsoever. So no matter what, the Spurs are trying to, load up on talent to be competitive in the playoffs next year and really start getting something going with Wembanyama. I think that's what's going on right now. No matter what, they're going to get someone big for that team to help out Wembanyama and try to start a 1 seed versus 2 seed battle in the West, where you're kind of looking at it. It's like no matter what, it's going to be Thunder or Spurs in the finals. You can kind of guarantee that every single year from here on out if the Spurs do land some big name guy. And I think they can. Okay. I 100% think they can. We can look at some other stuff here as well. Here's another rumor trade. Sacramento, who hasn't really had any success in the playoffs. They've had good teams, but they haven't really done anything. They're motivated to find a long-term solution at point guard and have shown interest in Darius Garland and Trae Young. Both guys, I think, they're on the trade market. Yes, both teams are looking at trading them, and both are guys I think Sacramento would go after, especially Darius Garland. He did have surgery. He'll be out for 4 to 5 months. He'll probably miss the first month of the season. So what? You can live with that. You can live with that if you're Sacramento. You 100% can. No doubt about it in my mind whatsoever. Another interesting thing is this one right here. The Utah Jazz are expected to listen to trade offers for Walker Kessler per NBA Sarah. All right. I think I don't want to go ahead and start all these, trade rumors, narratives, blah, blah, blah. The Thunder should go get Walker Kessler. I'm just saying, if the Thunder are so worried about contracts in the future and they want a big man to kind of back up Chet Holmgren that you can have coming off the bench that is young and won't cost a ton of money, you could see Sam Presti look and be like, look, we have this guy. He's not doing a lot for us right now anyways. It doesn't look like he'll do anything for us. Let's trade him and a pick and go get this guy and sign him to a team-friendly deal where he's only going to be making like 10 to 12 million a year. Like, it's Walker Kessler. It's not like he's going to demand $30 million. He'll get 10 to 15, somewhere in that range. If you're the Thunder, you can afford that. 100%. And it's not like he is a horrible player as well by any means, all right? He averaged 11 points, 12 rebounds a game. You're taking him for his inside scoring, screening, and his rebounds, all right? You're not taking him for three-point shooting. That's not what the Thunder did when they signed Hartenstein. It's not what they did. They took him because of his rebounding and defensive efforts and his playmaking a little bit as well. He is a great playmaker. Walker Kessler is not the same kind of playmaker as Isaiah Hartenstein. Not by any means, okay? He does average almost 2 assists a game, but he's not as good of a playmaker as Hartenstein. However, once Hartenstein's last year of his contract is up, whether you take that team option or he's done, these stats that you're seeing right now could be great coming off the bench for Oklahoma City. 66% from the field. He's not taking a lot of shots, but he's still getting 11 points a game. He's averaging 2 blocks a game as well. He's a great interior presence on the defensive end if you're looking, for someone to protect the inside on the non-Chet minutes. And you kind of have to start preparing like, look, are we going to be able to keep Hartenstein long-term? I don't think so. I really, when I look at it, I don't see any way you can keep Hartenstein long-term unless he takes a massive pay cut, and I don't see him taking a massive pay cut. I just don't see that guy, after winning a ring, his value being high, why would he take a $15 million pay cut? I don't see that happening. So it'd be smart for them to go ahead and trade a young guy that's not going to show anything with the Thunder just because he's not ever going to get the time. And I think he has potential. I think he can still be really good from what we've seen in preseason and what he's shown off in Summer League and in the G League. It's just with the Thunder, I just don't think he has the time to kind of show that off by any means. He just, there's just so many players better than him in his position while the Thunder are trying to contend. And I'm talking about Ousmane Dieng. And yes, Mu Dieng, Dieng Gang, I know Thunder Chats is probably going to be upset at me for even suggesting this, but like, realistically, this is a trade that if you want to see, okay, let's start looking towards the future, have Walker Kessler long-term on a cheap team-friendly deal, let's go after and do it, okay? Trade Ousmane Dieng and the pick from the Clippers this year, which is like pick number 24, okay, for Walker Kessler. I mean, I think that's a good deal. It's not like you're ruining chemistry a ton. It's not like you're losing someone that's playing a ton for you right now that is a key contributor. It's not like you're gaining a ton of money in on this. It's not like you're losing a ton of money. Both guys, they have 1 year left on their contracts, and then they're, looking for new deals. Walker Kessler, Ousmane Dieng, they'll be looking for the same amount, yeah. But I think Walker Kessler, his skill set is what the Thunder are going to need down the line because you're going to lose Hartenstein. There's no telling what they do in this year's draft if they draft a center. I want them to take Rocco Sikorsky at the 44th overall pick and see if he can turn into something that the Thunder can use down low. He's 7'5", 265 pounds. You got to take a shot on him, and he's going to be available at pick number 44. I'd like to see if he turns into something. If he doesn't, oh well, trade. You can go ahead and trade for Walker Kessler now because you know you're for sure getting this in him. Rocco Zagarsky, he's going to be a project. He's going to be someone that you're going to need a year in the G League and truly develop him because he's extremely raw. But he has that size and he has that frame to where he can really be a menace down low, defending and getting you boards. Okay. So there's a lot of options that they could go to try to keep up with all these other teams looking to make trades to take advantage of weaknesses that the Thunder could end up having. Like I said, the big one, you can't keep Hartenstein. I just don't see any way you can keep Hartenstein on this team after his last year of his contract, whether we take the team option or not. I just don't realistically see a way the Thunder do that. But that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys personally think about all these teams trying to land these big name guys like Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Lauri Markkanen. Even Sacramento getting in on this. And if you would trade Ousmane Dieng in that 24th overall pick for Walker Kessler. If not, tell me why. If so, also tell me why. That's all I got. See you guys in the next one.